Got to be real.
Yo guys, what's up? So I don't usually do these type of videos, but I'm putting this one together because I haven't given you guys many videos. I've been quite busy recently with it's all to do with the channel. I'm quite busy with the channel. I'm putting different things together, and you guys will shortly see what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, so I thought I would quickly do this video for you guys to give you something. Why is boxing messed up? As you can see, I've got Al Haymon's picture up, and this guy, in my opinion, is the sole reason that boxing is so messed up. Now, we can sit and blame Bob Arum a little bit in regards to Pacquiao fighting Algieri, but who knows that this... I mean, if you think about it on a whole, Pacquiao's career hasn't been a cherry-picked career. Just because of this one fight, I don't think we can judge Pacquiao, and Chris Algieri is coming off a win against Provodnikov. So, it's not an extremely bad fight. It's not a Rod Salka versus Danny Garcia fight, nowhere near. And... we look at Pacquiao's entire career. I mean, he's just come off a win against Timothy Bradley. You can't. I mean, he couldn't have picked much more of a harder fighter than that. So anyway, right, I'm gonna talk about how Al Haymon's ruined boxing. Our first guy is Keith One Time Thurman. I think the career of Keith Thurman summarizes exactly how Al Haymon is the sole entity ruining boxing right now. You see, Al Haymon, he's not a boxing fan. Al Haymon came into the sport from the music industry, and he's seen a little bit of what Floyd Mayweather Jr. has done, and he's ridden off that. But what he's not realizing is that this is not going to work in the long run in boxing, because he doesn't understand the history of boxing and what made champions back in the day, and what made Mike Tyson a superstar. He doesn't understand these things. And the thing is, right now, Al Haymon's been involved in boxing for a few years, but I wouldn't call him a hardcore boxing fan. God knows if he's a hardcore boxing fan, but he comes from a music industry anyway, right? And judging by the way he does business, I don't think he's a hardcore boxing fan at all. I don't think he gives a damn about boxing. All he cares about is his money. And the thing is, we look at Keith One Time Thurman, and I can straight away tell you off the bat that this guy is making the worst mistakes with Keith Thurman possible. I mean, first of all, right, Al Haymon is refusing to do business with Top Rank. I mean, what on earth? Because I've spoken to Mia Khan, and Mia Khan told me straight that he's not fighting Marquez because of the promotional issues. And when he says promotional issues, Golden Boy has not got a problem with Top Rank. It's Al Haymon that's got a problem with Top Rank. So, clearly, what he means is Al Haymon is not doing business with Top Rank, and it's very apparent that he's not doing business with Top Rank. And at the same time, he doesn't want his fighters to face each other. So who does that leave? I mean, we look at the 147 division /140, and they're all Al Haymon fighters. I mean, from Matisse to Garcia to Khan to Mayweather. I mean, all these fighters, they're all Al Haymon fighters, and Lamont Peterson, they're all Al Haymon fighters, and Al Haymon is not willing to let these fighters fight each other. He's not letting Keith Thurman fight Amir Khan. He's not letting Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight Thurman. And I can't understand who are these fighters meant to fight if not. And this is the problem that we're having, because what Al Haymon is creating in boxing is a monopoly. You see, and we study and we look at why monopolies are bad in the world of business, and you can see exactly what's happening in boxing, because there is a monopoly being created, and this is the reason why managers are not meant to interact with promoters. And I think that Al Haymon, being a person in boxing who is controlling so many fighters, what you've actually got now is you're starting to slowly have a manager who is going to eventually control all the fighters. I mean, and what happens? This guy will create absolute snooze fests again and again and again. Rubbish fights, one-sided fights. He won't want his fighters to face each other. And we're just going to have bums, we're just going to have fake paper champions fighting bums and then racking up their victories, staying undefeated, and then eventually having one super fight and putting together a card of well-recognized fighters against unmatched opponents. And that's what you're getting. You know what I mean? I mean, you're getting all the top fighters in one card, but they're all fighting nobodies. I mean, this, if you look at all the cards, I mean, that's how it's going. And we take a look at Keith One Time Thurman. I mean, that's the reason he can't face no one, because Al Heyman isn't letting him face anyone in his stable, and he's not willing to do business with Top Rank. Do you know what I mean? And we take a look at like Kell Brook, Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn doesn't want Kell Brook to face Keith One Time Thurman. So where does Keith Thurman go? I mean, he's in trouble. I mean, if I was Keith Thurman, I'll just go and sign him in Top Rank. I'll tell you straight. Forget Al Heyman, or sign a proper deal with Golden Boy. Leave Al Heyman. I can't understand why all these fighters are continuously going with Al Heyman, Al Heyman, Al Heyman. Yeah, he'll make you a world champion, but I mean, the damage that he does to your public relations and your PR, I mean, you can't get that back. I mean, look at how much Danny Garcia's stock has dropped. Yeah, he's got the viewership in his last fight, but he's hated. He loses one fight, his fan base is gone. Nobody's going to like Danny Swift. Look at the same thing with Adrian Brawner. I mean, Brawner lost against Marcus El Chino Maidana. Look what's happened to him since. Al Heyman, in my opinion, he cares about the short run. He cares about himself. He doesn't care about his fighters, really. And the boxers, unfortunately, they're not smart enough to understand the long run effects of what's going on. I mean, Danny Garcia, I mean, think about it, right? If he loses now, where does Danny Swift go from here? I mean, if he goes and faces someone in the 147 division, say he faces Lamont Peterson at 140, and Peterson is a different style fighter to Matisse, what if Peterson outboxes Danny? Where does Danny go? Because Danny Swift Garcia, he will be exposed, because say Peterson outboxes him and beats him on decision, right? Everyone's going to say Danny Garcia was crap to begin with, because Amir Khan boxed the crap out of him. Matisse got a bust eye. Herrera beat him, arguably, right? And you know, and then he went and just annihilated Rod Salka, and then he's gone and faced Lamont Peterson and got outboxed. And he struggled against Zab Judah in the later rounds. He's hyped. That's what everyone's going to say. I don't personally think that, but that's what everyone will say. And what then will happen is Danny Garcia will have zero fan base, because he doesn't have a fan base, really. Danny Garcia had a fan base building, and Al Heyman went and destroyed it with the Rod Salka fight. I mean, he kind of destroyed it before the Herrera fight, but the Herrera fight turned out really competitive. But he definitely destroyed it in the Rod Salka fight. And I mean, if Al Heyman was such a good advisor and such a good manager, his fighters would be loved. But I mean, we look at his fighters, are they loved? I mean, apart from Keith One Time Thurman, who's getting his brand spoiled as well right now, his PR is getting spoiled really badly. I mean, is Amir Khan loved? Is Deontay Wilder loved? Is Floyd Mayweather Jr. loved? Is Danny Garcia loved? Do you know what I mean? Like, most of his fighters, they're not really liked that much, and it's not because of them. And we look at Deontay Wilder, I mean, his career, in my opinion, he's my boy in that, but his career now is becoming very, like, padded. Amir Khan, same thing. Amir Khan's willing to face the best, but I mean, he's not going to face the best, and it's simply because of Al Heyman. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has a very padded record, that's just goes to say it. Danny Swift Garcia, he's been in there with Lions earlier on, but now he's getting easy fights for himself. And I just feel that this is all Al Heyman's doing, and what it's doing is it is driving people away from the sport of boxing. It's making me feel very bored of boxing. There's nothing coming up, and it's affecting the PR and the it's really affecting the fighters in a negative manner, because it's destroying their fan bases. And effectively what you're doing is you're destroying boxing. And I can't understand where Al Heyman is going with this and what he's going to achieve out of this. I mean, you're not doing business with Top Rank. You're not willing to let your fighters face each other. You've got problems with your fighters fighting like Golden Boy fighters, probably. I mean, there are no pure Golden Boy fighters in 147. They're all Al Heyman slash Golden Boy fighters, and Al Heyman won't let them fight each other. So I think it's absolutely ridiculous, nonsense. Al Heyman's ruining boxing. I don't know, man. I mean, I think something needs to be done about this. I think the government should intervene into boxing, which is a very corrupt sport, and maybe regulate it in whatever manner, create a separate independent body that regulates boxing. I don't know, man. Is there already bodies? I suppose there is. Boxing Board of Control. Someone needs to intervene, and this is a monopoly in boxing, which is harming boxing on a whole really badly. Let me know what you think. Comment section below. Subscribe to Be Real TV, people. Share this video. Make sure you retweet on Twitter. Make sure you follow my Facebook at facebook.com/BeRealOnline. In a bit, guys.